Hi VC, I'm back again. It's been a while. I've just been so busy lately. I just haven't been able to get it together to actually get down to recording videos. I haven't even managed to watch many videos, which I'm going to change. Too much superhero TV. Too many of those shows knocking about. Yes. Right. What a waste of time, but I love it. Anyway. Right, so I've got records that I still haven't shown, and I think we're actually into this year now. I think I've shown everything I got from 2016, and we're finally into records that I either picked up, or maybe not actually. I think these are still, possibly, oh I don't know, I can't even remember when I got these to be honest, but I know I haven't shown them on the VC because I've still got my section here, my Wodge, of things that I haven't shown yet. So let's get going. Now the first one up here, this is one of my favourite records of the 80s. I absolutely adore this. I just remember sort of 84, 85, listening to this, Deep Dark Winters, sticking this on and loving it over and over. I think I borrowed a tape or somebody and I taped the tape and I had this, and I finally got a vinyl copy after all these years, and it is Who's Afraid of the Art of Noise by The Art of Noise on ZTT. This, I just think, this opened my eyes to a whole new kind of music. It's really quite experimental, a lot of it. It was on the cutting edge of sampling at the time. It's just, I think it is an incredible record. I think it's possibly the best thing that ZTT ever released. This is a Greek pressing. It's an original pressing, I think, but it's Greek. I think the track order, I'm not sure if it's just the sides are reversed or whether the track order is in a different order. I can't remember that well, and it fits together. The way it's, the running order fits together fine, so I've got no problem with that. Trevor Horn produced, just did a fantastic job on this. And this is the album which had Close to the Edit on it, which I probably drove my parents mad with me playing the 7-inch of that over and over and over and over again, because I just couldn't get enough of that, and I couldn't get enough of this album. Things like A Time for Fear, Beatbox Diversion 1, Mento, How to Kill Realization, Who's Afraid of the Art of Noise, Moments in Love, which is gorgeous and should have been a hit, Snapshot, and then of course Close to the Edit. This is, I'm just over the moon. I finally got one, and I just love the mysteriousness of ZTT. Definitely one of the best record companies around during the mid-80s. Peed all over a lot of other stuff being released at the time. Right, still in the 80s, another fantastic single that was released, I think probably about 88, 89 possibly, and sampled left, right and centre, and I've talked about her before, but this is Ofra Hazar and Sade, or Shard, not Sade, Sade probably. This has got Imninaloo on it, which for me is just one of the unsung singles of the 80s. It formed the basis of so many hip-hop records sort of in the late 80s, from Eric B. and Rakim. I think she was sampled on Mars, Pump Up the Volume, just all over the place she popped up with this song. What's his name? Eldritch out of the Sisters of Mercy got her to sing on the reissue on Under the Gun, I think. And Imninaloo is just brilliant. Now, the unfortunate thing about this record is a lot of the rest of the album is kind of really dated Europop, and it really is quite a disappointing record. But there is at least one other good song on here called Galbi, where she takes the sort of the Middle Eastern flavours that she used on Imninaloo and fuses them with kind of a western pop, and it really comes off. And I just wish the whole album had been like those 2 tracks, because then it would have been a fantastic album. But she looked fantastic, and on 2 brilliant songs she sounded fantastic, so that's Opera Huzzah. Now you may notice which t-shirt I'm wearing. Next up is, I think, now this is, I'm not sure whether this is true or not, but this has gone down as one of Kurt Cobain's favourite records. I don't know how true this is, but apparently he really liked Behind the Wall of Sleep on this album, which is Especially For You by the Smithereens. This is top-notch power pop. It is great. Behind the Wall of Sleep is such a brilliant song. And the rest of the album, while not quite hitting those high points, it's really good. I mean, you got things like Strangers When We Meet, Groovy Tuesday, I Don't Want to Lose You, Time and Time Again. I mean, it's superlative power pop. It really is. I really love this record. I mean, I heard Behind the Wall of Sleep a long time ago, but I really, really rate this album. And it's actually got printed plastic inner sleeve, which I haven't seen very often, on Enigma Records. There we go. You see that? Enigma. There we go. Love it. Absolutely love this. Really good album. Not too bad with the reinsertion of the record either. Right, going a bit pop now. This next one, when James, the vinyl professor, catches this video, will make him laugh, because this kind of set me off of buying this artist's records when I saw this particular, I think it was this album, on his channel, and it is ONJ Physical. For the money I paid for it, which is £1, I'd pay it for the cover alone. I mean, look at that, that's great, isn't it? And then she's swimming with dolphins in the gatefold, and it's great. And so most of the songs aren't up to much, but it's got Physical on it, which I love both as this version, and I also absolutely adore the Revolting Cox version. So yeah, not a brilliant album, but I'm so happy I've got this. Meanwhile, a brilliant pop album that I think is a fantastic pop album is this one. This is well recognisable. True Blue. This has got so many singles on it. When I got it for like £1 or something, I thought, good grief, I didn't realise there was so much. Like Papa Don't Preach, Open Your Heart, Live to Tell, True Blue, La Isla Bonita, or however you want to say it. I mean, that is 5 top 10 singles, and I think at least 2, maybe 3 number ones on one album. I mean, they really did. I mean, they knew how to market music in the 80s. But this is great, really good. I love this. I mean, even things like White Heat, Jimmy Jimmy's okay, Love Makes the World Go Around's okay. But the fact you've got so many top-notch singles makes this a great album. Right, so we've got the pop side of the 80s, which I've done with ONJ and Madonna. We now go to the indie side of the 80s, and a couple of records that maybe not so many people have heard, and they really should have done, because they're both great. Right, the first one is There Are 8 Million Stories by the June Brides. I think this was the only album that the June Brides released. And it's top-notch stuff. It's really good. Love it. There we go. We've got the lyric insert there. I think they're a little unfortunate, because what happened to them was, everybody knows C86, and that is one of my favourite compilations, probably my favourite compilation of all time. This lot, because they thought they might get pigeonholed, refused to go on it. And I think they probably lost out big time because they didn't. Because then you think some of the bands that did go on to have bigger success, like The Wedding Present and Primal Scream, were on it. I mean, obviously people like Bogshed and other people didn't enjoy the success. But really, this lot should have been more successful. I think when this was released, this was number 1 for Yonks in the indie album chart, and rightly so. It's jingly jangly, beautiful twee C86 style indie pop, and I absolutely love it to pieces. And I think it's got a great cover, and I just love it. On the Pink label, there we go, on Pink, there are 8 million stories. And then for my final record out of this batch, much more abrasive, we've got A Witness, and this is I Am John's Pancreas. And this, they were on, I'm pretty sure they were on C86, and this is much more abrasive. It's Sharpened Sticks is a song that, yes, it definitely is on, because I recognise this. Sharpened Sticks is a track they had on the compilation C86, but it's not the only good song. There is some brilliant stuff. Loudhailer song, the first side is brilliant. Smelt Like a Pedestrian, O'Grady's Dream, Cascading, Red Snake and Dipping Bird. Yes, if you want state-of-the-art indie circa 1985-86, this is your record. Absolutely love it. Just took me right back. Sitting in my bedroom listening to dodgy old indie records. Loved it. So there we go. And this is, oh, this is a Greek pressing. I bought a load of records off of the same seller, because he seemed to have a load of cheap Greek records that nobody wanted. And it's on, I can't even read the record label. Anyway, if anybody can read that, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the record label. Originally released, I don't know who it was originally released on, actually. It doesn't say. Distributed by 9 Mile and the Cartel. I don't know what the original... The Greek label is DD Records, or Die Die Records, I'm not sure. But anyway, top-notch record. Absolutely brilliant. Right, and there we go. 12 minutes on 7 records. Wittering on enough. Hopefully you're not going to get too bored by that. I am going to record another video as soon as this one's uploaded with my the rest of my 1991 records, I do believe. I'm just looking at them here. Is that 91? 91, I think so. Positive, am I right? Yeah, 91. I've just seen one that gives a game away. Right, okay, so the rest of my 91 records. And then we'll see where we go from here. Hopefully it won't be as long before the next video after that. Okay. Well, thanks very much for tuning in again. I'm sure people have already probably forgotten what I'm doing, who I am and where I am. I seem to have developed a cough right now, which wasn't there at the beginning of the video. So, thanks very much for watching. Hope you got something out of that. Investigate some of those indie records and The Art of Noise, because that's brilliant. Forget about every other rubbish record they released after that, including that horrendous record they released with Tom Jones. Best off just blotting that from history. Wounded Bison vocalist that he is. Can't stand him. Anyway, enough of that. See you later, VC. Bye.